Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day two of Awesome Conference. So this is the Game and Women Empowerment Workshop. If you're curious about this, if you're wondering if you should attend this, I'll just tell you this much. If you believe in women empowerment and if you believe in the transformational power of games, or if you're even curious about what games could do, you're at the right place. So don't worry. This is going to be an interesting session. My name is Sriram Kongesheri. I'm a PhD student at Amrita University. Today, we have a team from Holon Perspective LLC conducting this session. So they are a young startup with a mission to build systems thinking ecosystem to help organizations and individuals solve complex problems and help sustainable development, progress faster. So the team has actually developed an online participatory game, which will the game sort of will be the common platform where we'll have discussions and lot of thoughts being exchanged, and this will allow participants to sort of simulate, taking different decisions and sort of get exposure to the consequences of taking certain decisions, which I think they hope that you can nudge people to sustainable behaviors over time that are conducive for women empowerment. Now, I think I know what most of you are thinking. Like, you may be wondering what games has to do with women empowerment. And I think when I started out in this field, I was also, I also had the same question. But I believe you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you'll be able to learn from this workshop, and also with what you would be able to share with others. And may I just say, I think it's time we take games seriously because, well, I am biased because my research is based on games and skill development. But I think I'll just tell you one fact that will help you put things into perspective. The game industry, economically speaking, is bigger than Bollywood, Hollywood, and music industry put together. It's worth almost $235 billion by 2025. In India alone, it is worth $5 billion in 2025. So that's the transformational power of games, whether it is skill development, training, raising social awareness, figuring out innovative, sustainable strategies for sustainable development. Games can be a wonderful tool. So I'm really happy that we have this workshop today. So let me introduce the facilitators of our session today. Anshul Agrawal, he's the founding partner of Holon Perspectives and has been working as a systems innovation consultant for 6 years now. He enables people and organizations to use complexity sciences and systems theory to model and design sustainable strategies for bringing about change. Subarna has 3 plus experience of working as a systems researcher and engineer. She currently works as a research consultant with the company. She is also an aerospace engineer, a graduate from IIT Madras. Before I let Anshul start, we have some housekeeping news. So you know how fussy our event team is. Fortunately or unfortunately, they have like a hard close on time. So we have to finish at 5 minutes before 9, I believe. So when the time arrives, it will be a hard close. So let's try to stick to the time and finish it. The second thing I wanted to share is that I let the Holon team decide the logistics of selecting game participants. It's going to be a little difficult because the maximum slots we have is like 15, and we have more than, I don't know, 50 people now. So please follow their lead and heed to their instructions, and let's help each other make this smoother. My role will be limited. I'll only intervene when there is an issue with logistics or maybe issues of sticking to the schedule. So I hope everyone gets to learn, share, knowledge, bits and pieces of knowledge we all have inside us. And without further ado, I invite Anshul and Subarna to start the workshop. Thank you all.
Thanks, Sriram, for sharing that. And I feel you made my job really simple because half of the PPT you have already explained. Like, why do we need games and what is the...
I didn't mean to, sorry.
Yeah, no, but that's wonderful. So that will save us a lot of time. Yeah, so thanks everybody, and thanks for joining us. And we were frankly not expecting 62 people. I mean, before workshop, I specifically said like we need only 15 people that would work for us. But it's great that we have so many people for our workshop. So just to begin with, I will just like to ask you a simple question like from where are you joining and how are you feeling today? You can type in your chat box from where are you joining, from the which part of the world are you currently location wise, and you can share your feeling whether by typing an emoji or anything that you want to write your emotion just quickly. Okay, so we have people from different places. Great. So yeah, we have people from Uganda, we have people from India, USA. That's great. That's great. Um, just keep introducing each other. We have people from Israel. That's really nice. Welcome to the session. Kerala, Brazil. Okay, thanks a lot. So let's start the workshop then. The first part of this workshop is building the context and introducing why this game was needed and from where we are coming. And then the second half of the workshop is actually playing the game and introducing what we have designed and how the game looks like. It's still in the concept phase. We are in a, we are just piloting this game with a different set of participants. So there might be a lot of things that are new to you. There might be a lot of things which you think might need to be changed, and there might be some technical issues. So just be with us throughout the session, and we are always welcome to your feedback and suggestion. So Subarna, next slide, please. Yeah. So I'll just give you a context about the SDGs. When we look at the SDGs, we considered SDG from a systems point of view. So from a systems point of view, in a system, you have three core things which defines a system, elements of a system. There are interconnectedness in a system, and then a system always works for a purpose or function. Similarly, if we look at the SDG, we see that in the SDGs, all the 17 SDGs has certain element, like there are broadly economic, social and environmental element, and all these elements are interconnected with each other, and they all are designed in such a way that they are trying to achieve a bigger purpose of sustainable development goal. So considering SDGs as a system, we thought that what would be a good way to look at this interconnection, what will be a good way to understand this interconnection and to tell people that how you can leverage those interconnection in your real life. Then next slide, please. So for SDG, gender plays an important role because gender underlies every SDG. Although there is a particular SDG 5, which talks about gender equality, but we feel when we talk about problem point of view, any complex problem, whether it's a climate change, whether it's a financial crisis, or whether it's a violence or any health related problem, women are not only face those issues, but they are also pose the leadership and the innovative ideas that can help to solve those problems. That's why it becomes very important to incorporate the gender lens into achieving all those SDGs. And that can only happen when we have those holistic thinking approach at back of our mind, when we have that, when we can see that how incorporating gender is affecting different SDG, and we can see how those interrelations are emerging when we are designing any program or whether it's a policy. Next slide. So as I said, those interconnections are very important. Every SDGs are related with each other, whether it's a gender, whether it's a SDG 3 which talks about health, whether it's a SDG 7 which talks about the energy. So we need to understand those interconnectedness so that we can have a long lasting sustainable development outcomes. And we thought, like, to understand those things we need a new approach. And as Sriram was saying, the game has a potential. Games can be used as a learning tools to facilitate those kind of discussions, to facilitate those kind of learnings between teams, as well as the organization, as well as the policy maker, so that they can understand how different things those are designed in isolation. Let's say if some SDGs actions are designed in isolation, how those SDG actions are interconnected with other SDG, how they together are combined, producing an effect. Can we leverage one SDG's outcome to achieve the outcome for the another SDG? So keeping all those thoughts in our back of the mind, we try to uh, did some research, and we try to find out, like, can game-based learning, can game as a tool can be used for achieving this purpose? And next slide. Yeah, that's just the context. Let's go to the actual game that we want to introduce and what we have thought of. So our game is a card-based game. The basic philosophy behind our game was, when it comes to any SDG, whether it's related to women or whether it's related to any other SDG, the ultimate action needs to take by social entrepreneurs who are working day-to-day basis on the ground. So it's really their action that matters, that produce the outcome. So we thought, can we convert these different SDGs into certain action cards which people can understand and which they can use to develop different kind of strategy, so that they can understand how I can collaborate with the other SDGs, how I can leverage the outcome of the other SDGs. With that, I'll just briefly share with you the interface of our game. How does it look like? So for that, I'll invite Subarna to explain how the game looks like. And then we will have a session where we can invite participants to actually play the games, just to give you a flavor, how does it look like in the real life.
Yes, thank you, Anshul, and thanks, Shriram, for the intro. So, as Anshul mentioned, the base in which we have built our game. So right now we'll just look at the story in which we are going to take our game forward. So every player is going to be in a scenario where they are working for an aspirational district and where women's empowerment is the main development focus area. And from that point of view, the district collectorate has shortlisted 3 SDGs for the players, SDG 3, 5, and 8. And they are interested in a nexus and then combined impact of all of them put together. So right now we have just come across the pandemic, and right now in a post-COVID scenario where access to finance and having good technology being the key aspects. So the participants are expected to maximize their impact using the different action cards and ensuring that they are also keeping in mind the finance aspects and also the tech aspects of the game. Right. So I will quickly move to the interface now. So like Anshul was mentioning, this is an MVP we have prepared. So right now we'll be requesting volunteers to join in the game soon. And once you are into the link, so you'll be having an interface like this. And first we are entering the game, and the player is assigned a seat number accordingly. So this is the 3rd player seat number, which is assigned to myself. And you can find out which is your seat by spotting the human kind of an icon in the table. And you'll also see the number of cards you are having currently in your table. All right. So the players are expected to focus on the play area, and this is the area where you will be receiving the cards once the admin is dealing the cards for you. So post that, we are going to have a discussion and an exchange, possible collaboration between the different players. So I will quickly show how that will look like. Anshul, could you process the cards? So you can see that there are 3 decks in the interface. So each player will be receiving 1 deck each. And we request the players to stay within the play area and your personal space over here. And the rest of the things are for admin. So it will be helpful if people don't access any of them.
Can you maybe play like one round so that it's clear for everyone?
Yes, yes, yes.
Subarna, can you rejoin the game? I can't see you when I'm joining.
Okay. Yeah. So I can repeat the steps again, no problem. So you'll be given this link, and once you are in the link, so you'll have an option to enter the game over here, and please press enter. And right now there are 3 players already, and you can see that there is a logo and humanoid kind of icon in the 15th player. So that is assigned to me, and you'll be able to change your player name. So let's say name it this, right? And okay, right now we have Anshul also in the game. So once all the players take their seat, so they'll be receiving their individual card combinations in their personal deck. So, and also just ensure if you are having an individual card, a single card from each of these decks. So we have the SDG 3 goal, 5 goal, and the 8 goal. All right. So once the admin deals your cards, so you will be able to see that your cards are available with you in your personal deck. And so you'll also be able to access the information behind each of the cards and navigate between them, right? So right now I have received 3 action cards. So the first one is from SDG 3, and I do have the cards from 5 and 8. So I have a card around community kitchen to provide nutritional meals, and scholarship platform for women in sports, and seed funding for early stage entrepreneurs. Just be mindful that the overall objective for you is to maximize your impact using the 3 action combinations you can make, right? So these are the combination cards assigned to me. So yeah, just taking a minute to eliminate or possibly make a theory out of them.
Yeah. So basically, you will get 3 cards, so 1 from each SDGs and those action cards. So your objective, as Subarna said, is to maximize your impact in the region as well as come up with a narrative using these 3 cards, right? And now as the game proceeds, so let's say now Subarna has these 3 cards in front of her, and then you take a minute and then you think like how I can leverage these 3 SDGs together in if I am an entrepreneur in a region where I have to work for a women empowerment and I have to use these 3 SDGs, what will be my theory of change in that region? What will be the program that I will be designing that will involve all these 3 action? And so you can think a narrative around that. And when you think, you might be wondering, like there might be one odd out of the card also, like let's say in this nutritional meal is an odd card which you feel like it's not going well with my other 2 cards. So now that's where the game rules come. So when we start the game, each player we play it by turn, and then you have some story. We give you some starting point where you can think of some story using these 3 cards. And then once you think like this is the card that I don't want, okay, so then you have 2 options. One is the call option that we say, and one is the pass option that we say. Pass option is for those people which they think like their story is matching, they are comfortable with this card, they don't want to exchange this card. But the exchange option, the call option is for the people who want to exchange this card. And by exchanging, we mean they want to call for a collaboration. And for that, what we will do is, let's say Subarna wants to, Subarna thinks that this card is not fitting in her storyline of these three cards. So she put that card in the play area and she explained to the people like why this card, why I'm disregarding this card and why this is not fitting my overall story, and what is the kind of card or what is the kind of collaboration I'm seeking. Okay, so let's say Subarna, if you have to, Subarna can give an example also, like how you can say that and how it will look like.
Yes. So right now, after seeing the combination I had received, so I am more keen on providing or working on the financial aspects of women's empowerment, and I see that my two cards around scholarship platform and for seed funding sits well with my plan or my intended theory of change. So keeping that in mind, and also that the nutrition meals is more towards the health or less on the finance side of things. So I have discarded this card and I am looking for collaborators who are interested in this specific card and are also able to dispose a card which is interesting to me, right? So right now, yeah.
Yeah, so as Subarna shared her pitch, now the platform is open for anybody, any other player who thinks like this card is useful for them, but they also have one odd card that they don't want to keep, but they want to exchange that card with the Subarna's card. So they play their card in the play area. Let's say I have a card which I feel can help Subarna. Let's say I have this card which says apprenticeship for women in STEM. And I feel that card can help Subarna, and the card that Subarna is providing can help in my narrative. So that's where I can exchange this card. So I can pitch to Subarna like, why do I need your card? And that's where then Subarna's turn to decide that with whom she wants to exchange. There might be 10 options in front of Subarna, and then she has to decide out of those 10 with whom she wants to go and with whom she wants to collaborate. When that exchange happens, let's say Subarna thinks that she wants to take my card, she just simply pull down the card into her deck, and I also pull down that card into my deck, and that we called as a successful collaboration. Okay, and then the turn is over, and then we move to the next person, which is next to the Subarna. Right. So at this point, if you have any question, I mean, we are ready to take questions so that then we can move with the game forward.
I think maybe most of them are still getting the hang of the game.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
maybe you can get started and take questions as it
Yeah.
comes, because
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, just one thing. I mean, game is very simple. You will get 3 cards. You have to build a narrative using those 3 cards. Just keep in mind, at the end of the game, you should have 3 different kind of SDG card in your hand. You can't do like, I have all the SDG 5 card in my hand, or SDG 8 card in my hand, or SDG 3 card in my hand. You have to have 3 different deck in your hand, and you have to build a narrative. That's the simple objective of the game. And for that, let's play the game so that we will know better how it works in a real context. So for that, I mean, this game we have, because of the technicalities and since we are in a very early stage, we have limited this game for the 15 people. So we just need 15 volunteers who would like to participate in this game, maximum 15 people. So you can raise your hand, or and we will share the link in the chat box. Subarna, can you type that, and they can directly join the game.
maybe the participants can use the Zoom link to raise their hands, the Zoom feature.
So I see 2 people. Yeah. So
this link is only for the people who are going to play, right?
yeah. So whoever wants to play, they can open this link in their computer.
Okay, so we have
Preferably,
2. We need 13 more.
yeah. Even if it's not total full house, we can manage with 4 or 5 people just as a demo for the game. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Sure,
Gayatri,
anyone
yeah, you
can
can.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have to join the link which is provided by Subarna. Uh, Open that link in your Chrome browser, and it should work. So as I can see on the screen, there is someone on player number 3. There is someone on seat number 9. You can change your name as well by clicking on player 10, so that we will know like who are you. Right?
May I invite our master students also to join the game?
Sure.
We have a lot of students here.
Yeah.
They may be interested.
Yeah. So we have Dev Sena and then Shiriji have joined the table. Gayatri, I think you are disconnected. You might have to rejoin the game. Some network issue maybe from your side. We have on table number 9, 12, 15. If you are facing any difficulty for the joining, just let us know. We can figure out.
Kartika, Vosha, we have a lot of our senior students. Surya, Mahesh.
Right. So right now we see 5 people on the table. 6. Let's just take 2 more minutes if anybody wants to join, and then we can start with these players. So right now we have around 7 to 8 players on different seats. These seats are assigned randomly. So
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So what is winning in this game? What does winning mean in this game? What is that condition?
Yeah. So in this game, there is no winning. It's like an open-ended dialoguing game where we are trying to create a different narratives using these 3 action cards, right? At the end of the game, we have introduced a section where when we went with all the turns, like, when we finish all the turns, we have a separate board which we have created where people can write down their story and then they can do a peer review sort of thing and have an open dialoguing there.
Okay.
Right. So we will ask you to just restrict to your table because there are certain loose end into this game, so don't move around things anywhere. But yeah, so we see around. So there's someone at seat number 7. If you can change your name, it would be great us to communicate with you as well. And I think player number 1 has disconnected.
So player number 7, you can select your name, the player 7 existing now, and you can just rename over there.
Right. So just keep one thing in mind. Your overall objective is to build a narrative using these 3 action cards. The storyline is you are working in a region which is an aspirational district where district collector wants to focus upon the women empowerment as an issue, and they want to focus particularly on these 3 SDGs, and you have to use these 3 SDGs and then you have to build a narrative. Sure. So should we start the game if participants are ready?
Yeah.
Good. Subarna, you can also be one of the participants in the game.
Okay, then I will not be able to share in that case.
No, we can see like your screen.
Okay.
Okay, you are saying okay, your card will be visible to all of us, right? Okay, then. Fine. So you want to stand up from your seat? Wait, I'll just join that. So the game starts with the dealing of the card. We have 8 players with us, 7 players with us. Just make sure all of you got 3 different cards. So I can see number 3 next to your table, right? Just take a moment, look at those cards. You can click on the card and see what are these 3 different cards you got. So now we can go turn by the numbers. Okay. And since I'll begin the game because I'm in release number, I go by 8, then I want to disregard this card and I am looking for collaborators. Collaborators who can help me in women finance related providing solution. And this is the card that I'm disregarding and I'm playing in the area because I feel this might be helpful for someone who is working in the area of health related things for the women. So if anybody wants to share their card. Yeah, so whoever the player is, so they can, so different players can play one card on the table, which they feel is odd for them, and my card might be useful for them, like that. So I see that on screen, I have 3 different options, right? So we can take a minute, they can take a minute and can pitch to me, like why do they think their card might help me, and why do they need, and why my card can help them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I think you're doing something on affordable medical equipments. I put this card on training people in emergency care. I'm not very sure I got the hang of the game, but I think it is in the same SDG of building something for health and well-being. So I think if you build affordable medical equipments, they can be those, people who are giving emergency care can be used to, you can train them on those medical equipment. So we have a partnership. We can have
so thanks Gayatri for sharing. Just one little correction, and I think that's like confusion for, that might be the confusion for whole group. So I am disregarding that card, which means I am not interested into that kind of interventions. I mean, that card is open for all the other players to take, right? When I'm playing funds for affordable medical equipments, which means I'm disregarding that card. I don't want that card because that's not fitting well with my narrative and the story, right? And this might be useful for someone else. So,
okay, so then it is useful for me if I want to do training to people.
Yeah. So then in exchange of this card, you have to collaborate with me by sharing something, like some action card that you have, which might helpful for me. And then the help that I'm seeking is in related to financing the women. So if you have that kind of card, you can pitch for that card.
Okay, so I shouldn't put this card. I should put the say other card which I want to give in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I want this card, and I think that financing women. So I think water harvesting technologies is a very upcoming area and a lot of potential for women to come up with small technologies that they can sell to a lot of women entrepreneurs, lots of women, and you can set up small business in villages, in community. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the whole purpose is to think about what are the possible scenarios that can happen. So I mean, it's great that you are able to share those things, and that's like a sound pitch for me as well. So if I similarly, I would like to invite any other person who has shared the card and want to exchange with me, like what are the things that they think, why do they need my card, and how do they see value in my card in their narrative, and how their card can help me. So let's say we have a card who is saying mobile dispensary in the area. There is a card on community kitchen to provide nutritional meals and all.
Okay, is the farmhouse and resort for agri-tourism available?
Yes, that was my card. I had pitched it.
Yeah, I think because I have other card for green lifestyle, so maybe I can have that. Would be useful.
I just had a little doubt. How do we know who has pitched a particular card which is in the play area?
It's my turn that is going on, right? I have pitched my card, which is a funds, which was the card, right? And then Gayatri pitched her card, and then there were other people also who were pitching. So we wait for our turn to pitch that what is the card that we want to disregard.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Right. So, right. So then,
Anshul, a quick time check. Probably we can finish your round and we can.
So I feel like when Gayatri was saying setting up rainwater harvesting technology is something, because I am funding for early stage investors, early stage women entrepreneurs. So I think this fits well with my theory, because then I can help them with these technology related things, and I feel my card can help Gayatri in her theory of change. So we can exchange these cards. So Gayatri, you can take my card and keep with you, and I can keep your card with me. So that's, we call that happens one successful collaboration between me and Gayatri. And then so rest of the cards are into the play area, which means they were not part of the collaboration, so they can take back their card, and then we move back to move further to the other player number 9, right? So whoever put community kitchen, they can take back their card, because there was no successful collaboration there.
Yes, I think it is from Swarup. So I'm seeing only 2 cards on Swarup's deck. Okay.
So now we have it's done for player number 9. If you want to pitch like why you are disregarding this, what card you want to disregard, and what are you looking for?
Zur, are you there?
Hello.
Sir, no, we
We are
can't
not-
hear you.
We can't hear you. Okay, so his mic is not working. Player number 9 mic is not working, so that's fine. I mean, let's move to the next player so that we go in a full round. Everybody can have their turn. So you can take back your card. We can move to.
Yeah. I think he's just giving his proposal in the chat. So we'll just come back to you after probably the 11th player has finished. So we can move to player number 10 now, Devsena.
Yes, so I'm pitching the card farmhouse and resort for agri-tourism because that does not fit well with the narrative I have right now. So I'm looking, one second. I'm looking more of pitches where it is related to the safety and health of workplace and anything that's related to automation. Because according to the cards I have, which is related to the mental and physical wellness of people working in different places. So right now I have something that's related to financial or research grants in order to create opportunities for employees in different companies to work on their physical as well as mental health being. So with regard to that, farmhouse and resort for agri-tourism is something that does not fit well with me, which is why I'm pitching that up. And I would like to collaborate with anybody who has any idea which has anything to do with automating any machines which will contribute towards the workplace safety or anything related to mental or physical wellness in general.
Thanks, Devsena, for sharing that. So now different players like player 11, 12, 14, 15, 9, if they have something which they want to share with her and then they feel they also have some card which might be useful for her and her card might be useful for them, can play their card in the play area. And if nobody plays in play area, then we move on, and which means she couldn't find a successful collaborator and she has to take back her card. Right. So I'm guessing, I'm assuming, I think nobody, Devsena, unfortunately, nobody is interested in your card because it might not be fitting well with their narrative, the narrative they are thinking. So I think you have to take back your card, but you can share this card in the next round with the other player. So then we move to player number 11, Shrizi.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to disregard mobile dispensary in the area because it doesn't fit the narrative I have in my mind. So, if anyone is interested, yeah. And what I have in mind is regard to manufacturing, garments and safety equipment.
Srijit, could you be near to the mic a bit? We are able to hear you, but
Sorry.
not very clear.
Yeah. Sorry, I have an issue with my microphone.
It is better now. It is better now. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I have shout. Sorry, yeah, but yeah, do let me know if yeah. So I was saying that I'm disregarding mobile dispensary in the area because it doesn't fit with the narrative that I have in my mind. And if anyone is interested, they can take this card. And
You could also
So,
just
Sri,
add a sentence around what you're looking for. Yes, Gayatri.
I'm looking for local manufacturing, especially in the garment industry and making safety equipment and something related to that.
yeah, I like to take your card, but I don't have what you want. I can propose to give you a card on gender equality. Should I? Would you like to see it?
Yeah, sure. So now what's the next step? I really
You do
I
you
mean,
you
so,
don't want it,
I don't
right?
want that's not going to fit well with what I have already.
I took
So-
it back.
yeah.
Okay.
So then there is someone also who is
Can
willing
I
to
can I
offer.
click and see what the card is? Mobile app for free lifestyle. No, I don't think I can. I would like something that's related to manufacturing, but specifically I'm interested in textile, garment, and safety equipment manufacturing.
So I think, unfortunately, Srijit, I have to say that, I mean, for you, we were not able to find any collaborator. So you can try in your next rounds. I
Okay.
mean, you can disregard these cards when somebody is sharing and somebody is looking for this kind of card. Right. So now it's Gayatri's turn. And so Gayatri, you can share any card that you feel it's not fitting with your overall narrative that you want to do with the 3SD.
Yeah, so the card that I would like to give up is on domestic violence, rehabilitation of survivors, because it doesn't fit with my good health and well-being theme. So if there is anybody having a card on good health and well-being and they would like to take something on gender equality.
Swati
that?
is sharing, I think. So
Oh, wonderful. So Swati, would you want to take it?
Yeah,
Say-
yeah, Chichi, I would like to take that.
Swati, you can also explain like how her card will help you in your narrative. I mean, what is the reason you are taking her card? Why do you feel like?
Yeah, actually, since the card that I took is like carry along with the transgenders, it would be nice if I can showcase and get to know like what are situations that have these survivors. It's useful for me to assist.
Uh, we lost you in between, Swati, but I think we got what you were trying to say. So I think Gayatri, if you feel you can collaborate with her and it's fit with your narrative, then you can take her card and she can take your card. So that you can.
So I take her card and she takes my card.
Yes. So you take her card and keep in your deck, and she take your card.
Okay. We are supposed to make a story out of one card of the 3 SDGs. So you can't just take one SDG and make 3 cards, right?
Yes. You have to have 3 different SDGs, and together those 3 SDGs should make a story narrative.
Yes, just adding to it, at least 2 SDGs also, you might have a combination like that. So that is okay as well.
Okay, so after Gayatri, are we able to answer your question?
Yes.
Sure, thanks. So we have next Swati's turn. So Swati, do you feel, if you have any one card that you feel like you want to disregard and you want to share with people which is not fitting in your narrative, you can play that into play area.
Yeah, I think this card. Fundraising through purpose-driven marathons.
Okay.
If someone would like to exchange some card for this.
So do you want to explain like what kind of card you are looking for? And
It would be nice if I can have something that's related to the environment, because I need to develop an app for a green lifestyle.
so if someone thinks like they have the things that Swati is seeking, and if they feel the card that Swati is playing might help them as well, because it's related to fundraising, which can be used in any of the areas which they are working in, right? So they can use that card as one of the in their narrative and can offer something which can help Swati. So Swati, I have one card. I mean, this is related to environment. I mean, and which and since core focus was on the funding women and generating more funds for women activity. And initially, I thought I can um, do setting up of this rainwater harvesting technology, but now I feel I should more focus on the financing bit only. So I feel like this I mean your card might help me, but if this helps you in any way, you are welcome to
Yeah,
collaborate.
I think this, yes. I would like to take that card.
Okay, thanks Swati. Then we have a successful collaboration. So you can take
Thank
my
you.
card and you can keep there, and I can keep right. So now we have last person, Swaroop, with us. And so Swaroop, you want to share your. Yeah, and you can explain what are the kind of card you are looking for, and why are you disregarding this card.
Swaroop, we can't hear you.
Swaroop, you want to, we can't hear you. You want to type in chat box?
Is it
Yeah,
possible to take a
can you hear now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want trainings on prevention of sexual harassment. Instead of that, I would like to have something related to gender equality.
Okay. Is there any specific that you are looking at after seeing your two cards, which might fit well with your theory?
Something related to ecosystem.
Okay.
I don't have something on that, but I would like to take your card. I can give you this fundraising.
Funds for affordable medical equipments. Actually, I already had, but one funds one.
Okay.
Okay, so we are not able to find any collaboration with you, so you have to take back your card, and then I think,
and if two SDGs are okay, then I think I can match the other two for two SDGs.
sorry, can you repeat?
You said even if a person has two SDGs related cards, then I think that will be okay.
Yeah.
One card is related to economic growth, and other card is related to good health and well-being.
Yeah, so you will be having 3 different SDGs card with you. The overall is using those 3 different SDGs, you have to build a narrative. So right now,
I have two. I have only 2.
So with those 2, you can build your narrative. Are you saying that?
Someone said, I think, Subarna, you said that even if we have 2 SDGs, it is okay to have a
Yes,
narrative.
Yes, Saurabh. So the goal is to maximize your footprint in each of the SDGs. But unfortunately, if through collaboration, you have to compromise on either of these pillars, then that is okay if you are able to build a strong impact theory or impact story around the remaining ones.
Okay, fine. I try to collaborate again. We can go for another round.
Yeah. Quickly,
Sure.
please. Yeah.
Sure. So, I mean, that's like, I mean, since we have a very limited time, and I think player number 9 was the remaining. We were not able to.
Yes, Anshul, we couldn't get his proposal through chat as well. So I had requested him. Probably we can move forward in the interest of time. So hoping that he will be able to bring out a narrative right now. Yeah. Anshul, you are on mute.
Sorry. So in the interest of time, we wanted to stop it here, like after one turn, where you have all of you have these 3 cards with you, and you have thought something while exchanging this card, while collaboration with each other. You can take a moment, like 2 minutes, and you can, in your mind or in a piece of paper or somewhere, you can think, like, if you are an entrepreneur in a region, how will you craft a narrative around these 3 SDGs, keeping the whole main objective that was like you are working in an aspirational district and you have to maximize your impact in the area of women development, and you have these 3 SDGs as a core focus point, and you have those 3 limited action in front of you. How will you create a whole narrative for doing that? So you can take a 2-3 minutes for doing that, and then the next half is to bring out that narrative. So usually what we used to do is we used to share with each other, and we used to have a pitching round where each of the participants can pitch that narrative, and then we can have a discussion. So right now for this workshop, we try to do something different. So if Subarna, I mean, you want to move on to that part?
Yes, Anshul. So we have created an online collaborative space. So once the link is available, you'll all be able to join in as a visitor. And towards the right side, we have added all the pages or the frames available in this board. And here you'll be able to see the entire deck under 3, 5, and 8. And also in space based on your seat number. Let's say I was player number 5. Then you'll be able to type in your impact story in this space. And before doing that, it will help others as well if you can bring in your specific action cards near your text box. So for that, let's say if I'm having this mobile dispensary in the area, I just do a Control C and go to my space, just player 5, and do a Control V. So you'll be able to copy in all of your assigned or right now, which are action card you are having, you'll be able to find it over there and you'll be able to bring it inside your frame. And you can also type in your story here. So this common collaboration or this space helps us to keep also vote over here and also see each other's story as they get built up with time. And also we can see your cards. Right. So I will share this link.
I'll just quickly give you an overview of this whole interface because it might be new for many of you. So as soon as you open the link, on the right side, you see the outline boxes, right? So when you click on any of the outline boxes, right? So let's say player number 1, which is, the player number should be the same as your player number in the game. So let's say you were player number 7. Okay, so you click on player number 7 in the outline, and then you will reach to your box where you have to write your thing. Similarly for other players. So let's say in the main game, Gayatri's player number was 12. Okay, so Gayatri click on player number 12. Sumanna, can you click on player number 12? Yeah. So this board will take Gayatri to her seat, right? And Gayatri can write down her story in the given text box.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And also, Gayatri, if you want to, let's say Gayatri want to showcase her 3 cards, which were her 3 cards, because other people don't know cards. So what she will do is, so she has a card from SDG 3, SDG 5 and 8. So she will click on SDG 3 and then she will look what was my card, and then she will just copy paste that card onto her table by the same procedure, by clicking on her table, right? If you feel let just let us know. We will guide you how to use this thing. This workshop is more fun when we do in an offline setting. In an online, we have to, you know, adapt to the different kind of technology. We have to adapt to different kind of platforms. So that's why all these difficulties are happening. Otherwise, in a real scenario, we are sitting on a table and we are building on a narrative on a card and paper. So that becomes more interactive and more fun. So, Devsena, Shrijit, Gayatri, Swati, Swaroop, you have your seat number. You remember, you know your seat number. Like Devsena, seat number is 10. So she can click on player 10, and then she will reach on her table. And then on your table, you can copy paste your action card also. For doing that, you just have to go in the outline again and select that specific SDG card.
Anshul, could we start the 10-minute timer if possible?
Yeah. So let's keep 5 minutes to 5. I'll keep 10 minutes for doing the overall thing, and so that you can figure out. So as I see, like player number 9 has written something, and the player has pasted one of the card also. So you might want to paste your other 2 cards as well there, so that people know like what were your overall 3 cards. Like player number 10 and player number 11 has done. They have pasted their 3 cards there, and then they will write down their narrative there. Make sure when you are pasting, you have the same card as were at the end of your game. Is this comfortable for everyone to use this? If you are facing any problem, then let us know.
Yeah,
Or if you have any doubt,
comfortable with Mirobot, yeah.
if you have any doubt, like what you are supposed to do, if you are getting confused. So, as like Shrijit, I think you are player number 11. Are you writing your story, or are you facing any problem? Just checking. I'm just checking because I don't see any activity at your table.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I'm writing it offline and pasting it.
Okay. Swati, Swaroop, are you okay with this?
Yes, yes.
Swati, I think you are on table number 14. Are you still with us? So we have approximately 4 minutes left. If you all of you are done, we can close the timer before. So
I am done.
I think Swaroop and Shildeep are still so we can wait for another 2-3 minutes.
And probably in the meantime, I'll zoom in on player number 12 as you have formulated your theory. So even others will be able to see the cards and the narrative.
So, Subarna, you can click on player number 12 and outline. It will directly focus on that.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so if someone else is done, I can just show yours. So player 14, I think, is there, or player 15?
So everybody can just quickly look around at each other's storyline. We have just 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, you can walk around this board. You can click on each player's, from the outline, you can click on each player's table and then read out their story. Sort of a gallery walk. You can do a gallery walk. So if we want, we can go.
Can you change it on the screen so that we can see?
Yeah. Yeah, so we can do a gallery walk from starting, I think player number 10, 9. Yeah. So
Okay, I think this is a repeat point, right?
so Subarna, you can just let us know when we have to move to the next. So you can just keep like a 30-second for each player's table, and then you can move.
Okay. So player number 10.
Yeah. So player number 10 had these 3 cards, and then the story that was developed was so card was research content workplace safety and health, chatbot for counseling and mental wellness, which is SDG 3, and SDG 8, which is farmhouse and rest. Okay.
I think some of these narratives are very creative. It's really difficult to tie them.
Yeah. So I mean that's what we want to bring. Like people just think like when you can collaborate with each other, when you do the cross collaboration in terms of SDG, there are different narratives that can come out. There are different possible pathways that can emerge. So Suvarna, you want to go to the next? That's really interesting. Like how it's combining technology and training to women as self-help groups to manufacture gadgets and gear for women's safety. Really interesting. Next, career launch programs, transgender training, funds for affordable, the focus. Great. Like leveraging transgender for providing the healthcare emergency care. Interesting. Okay. So mostly focusing on the incubation part and maybe utilizing that donation for that incubation purpose. So yeah, so I mean overall that was the overall thing, and so I feel we can take a moment and can celebrate, like we can successfully finish our game, and we have created such a beautiful narratives which was really wonderful. And so so Subarna, you want to go to the PPT? I think we have Shriram like 10 more minutes with us.
Yeah, we have
5 minutes.
about 6. Yeah, 5 more minutes
5
minimum.
6 minutes. Yeah, sure. So yeah, so that was the whole game, and just we would like to now hear from you. How are you feeling? I mean, we acknowledge that there are technical challenges, there are things that are out of control from our side also, the explanation issue and all that. But overall, we would like to hear from you. How are you feeling? What did you like about it? What can be improved? If you have any thoughts, and if you want to share anything.
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
So I really like the game. It is fun, and because it is a game, there is always a sense of I am very competitive in nature, so I am very I really want to come up with the best storyline, and so that competitiveness adds to the fun. I want to make sure that I get my cards in order in the first round, and so it gives me an opportunity for that. So I really like this. And what I like about it is there is no, in some sense, there is no winning or losing in the game. So it is about sharing and learning from each other.
Yeah.
What I think can be improved is that there could be some kind of a reward, because ultimately what you play a game is for, the thrill or the reward, or, if you're telling me at the end of it, I get nothing for it, that's a bit of a disappointment for me. But I really like the idea of being idea sharing and coming up with, I really like that idea.
So Gayatri, just to point, I mean, we were planning to add doing a voting thing also, just to give that reward thing, where peers can review each other and then they can vote, like, which is the story they like the most, which is the story they feel is more relevant and more realistic also. So on this parameter, if that voting, so it will give players also sense that, okay, they achieved something, but due to time we were not able to do it. So we have to, I just messaged Subarna that let's skip that bit because we don't have time. But yeah, I really get what you are saying. So thanks for sharing that. Anybody else?
I mean, the world getting better is not a good enough reward for selfish players like me. So I resonate with Gayatri, what Gayatri said.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
No, I enjoyed playing it. Initially, I had a little bit difficulty, understanding the rules of the game, but it was easy to catch up. And I totally agree with you that this would work really well in an offline setting where we don't even have to invest. We have a little bit more time. This would be a really fun activity to do. And also, it would have been really nice, instead of, I was thinking about it. Instead of two people exchanging cards, maybe, we can, for example, I present a card and another player, and instead of having an A to B, like player A and player B exchanging cards, if we could, have some mechanism where we can have this. I mean, obviously that will come through the game, but if what I'm trying to say is maybe a chain card exchange system. So even if someone doesn't require a card, but in this game there was no way to know if I am altruistic and accept a card that I don't want, but I can give away later. It would have been nice to know some kind of mechanism where I know that would add a lot of complexity to the game, and that might also, I don't know. I mean, these are just random thoughts that I have while playing the game. But overall, I enjoy playing it. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
I would just like to pitch in and also share my experience. So it was a really nice game. Thank you for giving us this experience. So what I felt about this was that in the beginning, if anybody had kind of like a narrative, a storyline or something for the game, it would have been even more interesting to play, because it being a game, what first attracts people to it is that it's the GUI, it's the narrative and all of that. So if there was this kind of situation where we had like a video narrative or something like that, to just kind of where the instructions itself are imbibed into the narrative, so that sets the base for the entire game itself. And other than that design part, I think Srijit mostly covered all the points I was thinking about. So thank you for this experience once again.
Thanks for your feedback. It's really lovely. So I think then we can quickly wrap up this session. We have our contact details here if you want to reach out to us. And there is I just don't want to explain this cartoon graphic, but it's about interdependence. So you can just soak in the details, and in 2 minutes we can leave slowly from this session. So from us, it's really thanks for the awesome conference organizers, especially Shri Ram, for providing all the support at the back end and reaching out to me over calls as well. So thanks a lot everyone for engaging in the session and making it very beautiful.
Yes, thank you everyone. And it is unfortunate that few of us had to be disconnected or couldn't stay on the game due to some issues. So we are trying to rectify all the difficulties players are facing. So hopefully we'll have better games soon. So, thank you.
Nice. Thank you, everyone. I think we can close the session, go back to the main room. So if everyone can click leave room and then select leave breakout room. Don't select leave meeting yet. Just select leave breakout room. You'll be directed to the main room. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Subarna, Anshul and
Thank
Sriram.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
It was
very much.
good. Yes.